Oh, okay. Now it started. Okay, damn. It's been a while. So. You good? All right. Hello. Welcome to the Mental Threads podcast. We have returned episode 187, 187, no murder charge. With Miss Patrice Zhanae. How's it?
Yes, Patrice Zhanae. But I like when y'all say it like that. I like how the Zhanae, it's a little fancy.
Yeah, like Zhanae Monet. Or what's her name? Zhanae Monet.
Yes.
Yes.
A little accent on it.
Gotta add a little pizzazz on it, you know what I'm saying? How you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing great. I'm a little tired, but, it's just been a busy week.
She came from smoking, y'all. Just want to let you know.
That is also true. That is also true. That actually gave me a little more energy. I'm not going to hold you.
Oh, really? What was like, you got the sativa joint? Or?
See, the thing about me is I just never really ask. So I really don't know.
Don't ask, don't tell.
You feel me? But I do have favorites, like Gary Payton. That's like my favorite strain. I know that's the athlete. I just found out he would play basketball like a year ago.
Okay, I was about to say, like Gary Payton's your favorite.
But it's like a strain, and it's like my favorite.
Yeah, I got ADHD, so when you say Gary Payton, I'm like, hold up, those don't go together. Okay, so they named the strain after Gary Payton.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
I wonder if he knows about that.
Oh, okay, well, maybe you could probably get some like with that and everything. So yeah, for all that don't know, Miss Patrice Zhanae is an artist, preferably R&B, and she's really, really good at it. She made a couple of songs and everything. A lot of dope songs and stuff. And it's like, it's just so much talent in Charlotte. So it's like, like really hearing your song, trying to get back in the vibes of interviewing again. It was like, okay, good. We're back on track again. I'm back in my mode. I'm back in my mode and everything. So if we were to go into your background, where are you from? Where do you grew up in and born, blah, blah, blah. You know what it is.
So I am originally from Suitland PG County, Maryland.
Hey, DMV, stand up.
Stand up. Shout out to the home.
Yes.
But, I moved to North Carolina, specifically Salisbury, when I was about 5, about to be 6. And I grew up there. I went to Granite Quarry and Irwin, and then I moved here when I was like 12, and I've been here ever since. So yeah.
Okay, nice. And so like in terms of like the differences between Maryland and Charlotte and Salisbury, what would you describe be the main difference between all three of them cities?
I would say for me, Maryland just feels like just the DMV feels so fast paced.
Oh, really?
And I feel like one thing I love about being back in the DMV is just like the go energy, and also just like, ironically, the music and like the creativity in the scene. It's just so many dope like photographers out there and producers and artists. Like I love the art like in the DMV. It's crazy. Like the structure of the city itself is annoying driving there, but it's cool when you like look at it and stuff. And I love like the train and all that. But in Salisbury, it's the country. And I went to Granite Quarry, and I went to we had a swamp in the back of our school. We like
in Maryland?
No, this is in Salisbury.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say.
We would like go behind our school and like go pick tadpoles up and like raise frogs in our class. Like, so that's the country. Like we used to go, like my teacher had a llama at Lazy 5 Ranch that we go there so much that she's seen grow up. That's like her llama. Like it knows her and everything. So yeah, that's the country. And I moved to, and also a predominantly white school as well.
It happens.
And the school system in Salisbury, I will say, is a lot more funded than Charlotte.
Really?
Yes, I didn't know what a Chromebook was. I'm not gonna hold you. When I moved to Charlotte, like I had never used like Windows and shit. Like Salisbury, we had iPads. Like each kid had their own iPad. Each kid had their own like MacBook. Like they literally when you like graduate, they give you a MacBook. And I don't know if they still do that, but when I was like in the school system, that's what they did. So
was it like a smaller class?
It is Salisbury's small, and then Granite Quarry is a small town inside of Salisbury. So it's just like a very small town with a lot of old money there because it's real country.
And a lot of people go to retire out there in a sense because it's like very quiet and it kind of reminds you of a different time period.
For sure. Heavy on the just took down the Confederate Tower in the middle of downtown Salisbury a couple years ago.
Yes, clock that T. They didn't set it up again though.
No.
All right, good.
Now it's flowers.
Oh yeah, we like flowers. More flowers, less Confederate flags. Let's go. I'm with it.
For sure.
Yeah. It's like I recall like Salisbury and everything because it's like literally I got a speeding ticket on there, so but they do not play at all, bro. They would shut down your license for a year and everything. And it's like everybody else is just kind of chill. It's like, hey, just make sure everything's situated and then you're good. But it's like, you know, my familiarity with the DMV area is like I had like an internship out there. Well, it wasn't really like an internship. It was like a pyramid scheme. I don't know, but it was still fun though. You can go there and everything. We had to sell CBD and soap products and cosmetic products, you know, direct marketing and everything. And I'm like, we had to go to New Jersey at one time. We were like driving all around the DMV. It was set up in Tyson's Corner in Virginia. So, you know, my father stayed in Northern Virginia. So I would like go into DC and DMV area, and I just kind of fell in love out there. Like, I need to come back here once again. Charlotte's still where my heart is and everything. I'll still come back, but I just want to go out there to get my MBA from Howard.
For sure. And I love Charlotte. I will say, like, the adjustment here was really, Charlotte helped me get out of my shell, which is in a weird way, it put me in my shell when I first got here. But now as an artist, I will say it has really helped me coming out of my shell. Like, it's a great community. I'm very grateful. And
it's growing, though,
for sure.
And everything. But it's just with the economy, it can be kind of, I don't want to say tiresome, but it can be kind of like complicated to even get your projects funded.
Oh, yeah.
Everything, you know.
Speaking of which, if anybody wants to donate to the cause.
I don't know. I don't believe in donations. You know, I like kind of getting it out the mud type stuff, you know, and then like once you've actually built enough, you know, much of a fan base, then your fan base will pretty much fund your career from that point. You know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of feeds into itself after a while.
I definitely see that.
You know, and it's
I'm talking about like some grant situation, you know, like any foundations that want to do some like artist grants.
Hey, do what you can. Hey, if you find a grant, let me know about it.
Oh, I can send you a couple because I like repeatedly applied to some. So
oh, really? Is there like a certain like prerequisite or anything?
They just ask you to give them very detailed descriptions of what you want to do with yourself and your brand, and then they want you to tell them exactly how you're going to use every single cent that you get.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely get on that and everything. Because really, all I need is really just studio time. Really, like really, once I get studio time, I'm good. Like, whether if it comes to podcasts or music, really, and then you know, I can pretty much like actually really focus on writing songs again and everything, which I'm gonna start again this month and stuff. I already got my album cover already set up and everything. I'm gonna just show it to you real quick. I literally posted it and everything a while ago. Yeah, so pretty much this would be like my sophomoric mixtape.
I love that. That's hard.
Yeah, and when you see my first mixtape, it's like this and everything, so it's just I designed the covers and stuff.
That's
like that.
So cool. That's something I really need to step up is like my photography game.
You can just get a photographer and then you can pretty much do the editing on your end. That's what I pretty much do. It's like I use PixArt and that's what I use pretty much, and this is like the kind of like the rough drafts over here because I didn't know what I was gonna go with, so it's like I just kind of felt some things out, see what the process was like. Get a little like R&B vibe right here.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so it's like, if you need someone to kind of help you design album covers, I could be your guy as well.
Period. Thank you. Look at us networking.
Yes, networking. You see that, Charlotte? You got to network. That's the name of the game. Of the game. So it's just like, you spoken about just like, you coming from like the DMV and just like the differences between that. And like, you want to go deeper in like how like Charlotte as a city kind of help you grow as an artist?
I feel like especially transitioning from Salisbury to Charlotte, like, because the DMV is just, I grew up with my grandma, so I was around a lot of old people. So this is a lot of jazz and go-go that I'm hearing, especially with my aunt. She loves her some go-go music. And that is just the wake up every morning, unless it's Sunday, then it's gospel music. But I feel like the DMV cemented my love for music. I feel like I've been very blessed to be constantly surrounded by musically talented people. My godmother, shout out Miss Banks, I love her. I picked her to be my godmom for one, because she is a piano player and she's a tenor from God. Gifted her that voice. She is a music teacher too. She's not retired and she's been working for like 40 plus years in the DMV school system. And I just love her. She's like a classical musician, and also like I went to 15th Street Presbyterian Church, and that choir, all of them are classically trained musicians. Nice. And it's just a blessing. And then like even going to Salisbury, my grandma, she's a professional bowler. Now she's in her 80s, so she's chill. But now she just bakes cakes. If anybody wants to buy some cakes from my grandma, hit me up.
I do like some cakes.
And she's a baker. She's a baker, yeah.
That's nice. Shout out to Miss Banks though.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Banks.
Miss Banks, no credit union. Let's go.
No period. Period. But in Salisbury, I went to Trinity Presbyterian Church, and I met these two lovely old ladies. God rest their soul, Miss Mary and Miss Betty, and they were music teachers too, and they just like adopted me into like their second grand. That happened to me a lot with being with my grandma. She likes to take care of older people, even though she's a senior citizen herself. And I have a lot of old people that just like guided me along the way. So I feel like coming from a slower place like Salisbury for majority of my life, and then coming to Charlotte was like I'm used to hanging out with the old people by the lake and playing baki and all that stuff. And now
I don't even know what baki is.
It's just like a little. It's like they have a little mallet and they tap the ball.
That's what that is? With the little balls and they be knocking it in the whole little. I didn't even know the names of it.
My grandma did that competitively.
Okay, competitive baki player. Let's roll.
Yeah. Shout out Rosina.
Yes.
I name dropped her in one of my songs. But yeah, no, Charlotte is very different. I feel like
it's growing very fast and everything, getting gentrified real fast too, and everything, you know. And I really love it for that, because a lot of people are moving here, and like, you know, once they leave their hometowns and reach, you know, the adult age, the young adult age, like, hey, I'm gonna live my life, and they choose this city specifically. It kind of reflects a sense of just like, okay, maybe they want to just start off fresh, start off new, and don't want to go anywhere too fast, like say like a Miami, which I love Miami.
I haven't gone yet.
You haven't gone yet? Definitely got to go. It smells so amazing out there. Yeah, I think it's because of all the palm trees. That's one thing I noticed and everything. It's just like we need more palm trees here.
Oh yeah.
Whether if it's artificial, just put it up somewhere, because it would really deodorize the air and everything. We're a growing city, so it's just like, you know, there's gonna be a lot of smoke and everything. And I'm saying Charlotte's pretty clean, but it wouldn't help to just, you know, go a little Febreze. You know what I'm saying? That's some natural Febreze.
Some better air quality a little bit.
But Miami's really dope and everything. I went out there for spring break in March and stuff like that, and it was just such a true experience, because like once I got there and everything, I used up all my money literally just to get there and everything. I got my rental car and everything, so I was pretty much had to grind and do hood Uber out there so I could get somebody just so I could eat every day. I just eat Little Caesars, and they make their pizza right every time. Like Charlotte's very much hit or miss. You got to pray, like, I hope they'll make it like and it's not too dry or something like that. You know, you got to just go to the right places and whatnot. But yeah, Miami's really dope, very cultural, a whole lot going on, a whole lot of events, especially during spring break. So definitely a recommended place to go to.
I feel like I'm and it's probably because I grew up in a smaller town, that I'm such a chill grandma type vibe. Like, my friends, they always want me, like, come outside with us, come to the club with us. And I'll be like, girl, I'm tired.
There's a large retirement community in Miami. A lot of people be retiring out in Florida. So it's just like, you know, it is what it is. So, you know, it just kind of felt like Grand Theft Auto Vice City for me. So it's like, I had GTA 6 before GTA 6 even came out. Let's go.
Yes. Yeah. I like a nice lake vibe. I feel like I'm such a nature girl. I'm not going to hold you. So that's like, I want to go out and like pet the animals. Like, I like to go to like Lazy Five Ranch a lot and just like go be with the cows or like go in the lake and stuff.
I need to take my cousins to Lazy Five Ranch.
It's so fun.
I haven't been there since I was like taking field trips in elementary school and stuff. Wow. So it's been a really long time.
No, you should.
But now it's like I'm at the age where it's like, you know, once I get this new car, maybe a Toyota RAV4, then it's like, you know, road trip, let's go.
You feel me?
Or something like that. Yeah, got to get with the SUVs. That's the thing of the future right now.
Yes, have you gone to Dan Nicholas?
What's Dan Nicholas?
It is basically like an amusement park type, but like in Salisbury. So they have like a nice little mini golf area, and like it's a good place for the kids, but you can go like paddle boating. They got like a zoo there and like a petting farm. You can go like gem mining, and it's like super cute. Nice.
I'll consider it, but I try to stay out of Salisbury. I don't want to give me another ticket. Like, it's because of them I drive like a grandma now.
I just feel like everybody I know from Salisbury speeds. I speed. When I get into the Salisbury area, I go faster.
Yeah, but it's just like, you know, I was driving at night, you know, so it's just like that's probably why they're hiding in the bushes. Like, we found one.
Hiding in the bushes, they do.
And it's like, good, yes, we found another one. More funding for the city. Giving people tickets.
That's why we got all the MacBooks.
Yeah, man, it's just I was not a happy camper with that and everything. But it's just like, okay, so it's like in terms of just how you're connecting with the community and everything. Like, I know like you have a connection with obviously a Gucci Ronnie who I've interviewed, and like a lot of people I've interviewed which wanted to lead you to this podcast, like DDA Tink and MENTXL. Could you kind of go in description and just like, you know, the experience of building and finding your community here in Charlotte?
So I've been doing this like professionally, I would say for about a year. It's been great. I've been very blessed to meet like amazing people. My first performance was like with this open mic with DJ Chocolate Dropper, and she kind of got me more comfortable because when I first moved to Charlotte, I was bullied a bit. So I've been very like.
If you're interesting, you're gonna get bullied in Charlotte. But that kind of pushes you into the right people. We're all been bullied. That's why we all just kind of more very empathetic and everything and kind of chill. Sure.
Maybe a little bit too empathetic at times, but I'm working on it.
It's okay. We're gonna work on it.
I keep hitting this thing on the table. I'm so sorry.
What thing you're hitting? I don't.
It's this little knob thing.
I don't even see.
It's just because I'm fidgety.
Fidgety. It's okay.
Yes.
We'll bring fidget spinners next time.
Oh my gosh, yes, I like the little.
Yeah.
Well, these. Look, I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted.
It's all right. ADHD.
But I started performing at.
Was it training day?
No, actually, I didn't do training day until like months into me being a singer out here. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay. It was with a platform that I'm not gonna name because I don't really agree with the promoter.
That is okay. No hate, just no promotion.
Hate, you feel me? Of course. But and I met a bunch of people through that. That's where I met Ron. We had a performance at Area 51 or 15. I can't remember because I'm a little dyslexic, y'all. So please.
It happens.
I met like this amazing artist, and he be hiding down in South Carolina, but I'm finna shout him out. I met this artist named Sameka, and he's got like this JID vibe. And through him, I met Elena Yvonne. She was doing the Soul Partner open mic. And at that time, I was like posting videos of me singing. I did this thing called P-Mixes where I like remix my favorite songs and like rewrite the lyrics and flow. And I was nervous, and Sameka was like, you need to do this. And so I did it, and I started networking with her. I had been manifesting backup singing gigs forever, and she gave me my first backup singing gig, and it was paid. So shout out to her. She's dope. Y'all should check her art, like her artistry out. She's amazingly talented, and she's a violin player. She's dope. I met this amazing rapper. Her name is Faye. Don't fight me, girl. Her name is Stonni Lue.
It happens.
But she's dope. She's a rapper from New York, and like she's just for the girls, and I love that like pink girl, feminine like energy.
She be in and out of Charlotte a lot.
Yes, she book her. She be everywhere. She would definitely make your event popping. We love her.
Oh, okay, no, maybe next time in Charlotte, I could probably get her on the podcast.
No, too. Yes, she just dropped a tape too. Like, her first tape. So she's fire. She's fire. She does like really good storytelling. I really, really admire her work ethic. She be out there. She be pushing me out of my shell, like, cause I'm like. I also, one of the downfalls about being raised by old people is that you get a lot of old people ideologies put upon you at a young age. So I'm very sheltered and like old school in a lot of my views. Mm-hmm. And like some of the women in my family did not walk in their power and were ashamed of their power because they were told to be ashamed of their power. And one thing I love about Stonni Lue is that she reminds me to walk in my power. So I love her.
Kind of like a young Queen Latifah.
Oh, for sure. She's like, girl, what? You are a queen. You run this. I'd be like, I run this, period. Yeah, you're right, girl.
It's good to have friends like that are very uplifting and everything. And it's like one other thing I really like about like the community here in Charlotte, even though we're still trying to build infrastructure and we're still like in the growing phase, it feels like people who are like true artists and true to themselves are really starting to like attract to themselves now and everything. Yeah. So it's like there's not a whole lot of toxicity among us. Like we're more willing to collaborate with each other, which I'm starting to see and everything. Like just to even see that MENTXL was even on like one of your tracks, and that was like one of my favorite tracks and everything.
I had to talk about that.
Yeah, MENTXL's so dope. I had him on the podcast too.
No, I watched that one. It was really good.
Yeah, he's really, really cool and everything. So it's just like knowing that I'm just tapping in with so many different people, and like I'm an artist myself and everything, as you saw from like the album cover. So it's just like, that kind of motivates me to kind of get back into the whole cycle of things as well and everything. So it's like, you want to go more about the track you did with MENTXL?
Yes.
I think that's good. We'll go good. We got like 20-minute increments and everything. My apologies. So it's like we'll kind of go blank for a little. I'll put like the logo and everything. I know you've seen episodes. You know how it is. Yeah.
Yes. What was I going to say? Okay, so back to my first performance. That same place that I was performing at, it was the promoter at the time. He had booked it through this artist named Toro the Maestro. And Toro was beginning to start this thing called Passion Project. And it's funny that we were talking about OreoTheSage earlier, because me and him and then this other artist named Skids the Gaffer and Toro did the first like Passion Islands. And it was like a musical like performance thing. Like Skids had like a whole play about like a mental hospital, and it was like super dope. And he had like actors and everything. And then like me and Oreo, we did like the story of like the sun and the moon and all that stuff. And we had like props and stuff, and like we're dressed in character, and it was really dope. That's where I met Ozzy, where I was talking about the voice acting stuff before. She's a dope actress as well. So super glad I met her, because I wouldn't have met her without the Toro event. So shout out him.
How often do these have these Toro events? Is it annual?
He actually, I'm not sure what the routine is now, but usually it's every month. And so Toro, this is how me and MENTXL ended up on that track together. He started this thing called Locked In. It was every Friday we go to the studio and we work on albums. We've got producers and engineers in there, and a bunch of dope artists came in. That's where I met Stonni. I also met this other artist named Tyree, and he is a part of a rap group named JTP, and they're super dope. They're based out of St. Louis, but he was living in Charlotte at the time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've got to work with him. He's got some work with MENTXL too. They got some stuff coming out too. Like Tyree just moved back to St. Louis, but he did a project with all the Charlotte artists that he met while he was here. So like, it's gonna be super dope.
Already tapping in with St. Louis, and St. Louis is slowly popping too. A lot of their artists.
The rap group that he's in, they're insane. I've got a song coming out with them too, and I've also got a song with Tyree called "What You On," and it's one of my favorite songs. Like I love that song.
It hasn't been released yet.
It is released.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
It's on his project. A Sage Tales, and I believe that I don't want to get the number wrong because he gonna fight me.
It's okay. Don't fight her.
But it's Sage Tales, y'all. Please.
We all got ADHD now. It's okay.
You
We can only focus on one thing at a time.
But yes, no, it's been great. It's been a great experience to like tighten up my engineering skills. I will say, like, meeting Oreo, that's how I even learned how to engineer. Like, he even gave me my first setup. Like, the artist community that I've met, like, we're just all helping each other. And it's just so beautiful. Like, Tyree records people at his house when he was here. Oreo would do the same. Like, down at Jambox, they have another thing going called the 704 Vault, and they do the same thing. I think they meet on Thursdays, but like they lock in and they work on projects, and then they got like a producer named 5 Star. He's super dope. JJ Rose. Linna Sky. I met her at a
interviewed her too.
Yes, we love Lena.
We love Lena.
I met Lena at a Portia the Poet event, because I did some with her before, and I love her events. I've got so much healing at Portia's events. I will definitely say, like, I took my grandma to one, Ron came to one. Like, it's just so healing. I will say, like, they be doing their Thug Thizzle, and shout out to her and her wife. They be out there with them plays, and I be seeing them. They killing the game. I love them.
Yeah, I need to pull out these events again. Like, I was on hiatus for a while trying to get everything situated, like, financially, and then I had to move and everything. So there's just a lot of stuff happening. Hopefully, like, when things start cooling down, because, like, it's circle now, I started, like, pulling out to these events and everything. Cause I remember even Solus even shout me out one
Solus.
time. Yeah, I interviewed him too. And you didn't feel like I was, like, one of the few people, podcast people who actually show up to the events. And just know that I haven't seen, like, a lot of y'all in a minute and everything. It's just, like, like, that's why one thing I really want to change back and get back into doing that again. Because I always want to be supportive and everything of everybody. And soon when I really start putting the podcast out there, hopefully like, y'all can benefit from the exposure as well and everything. Because it's just like, yeah, sure, your music does speak and everything. It does gain people like, interest. But I feel like your personality really sells you to your fan base and everything. Like people who are fans of Tyler the Creator are really kind of grew with Tyler the Creator and like kind of see his journey with that. Or Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole, they relate to them. And when they hear their interviews, it kind of helps them kind of be like, oh, wow. Like she's actually really, really dope. I'm a fan. I need to check out more of her music or his music.
Crazy.
And then it's just like, oh, wow, I started just knowing this person from a podcast and everything like that. So it's just like, with the G Rich Show, Mouth and Out podcast and everything, and the Mental Threats podcast and stuff. Hopefully soon we can be able to just collaborate a lot closer and everything, kind of build a network so that we can be able to keep putting y'all into the forefront.
For sure. And I love that. Like, as an artist, I love that. I really, as we were talking about my tattoos earlier, I love K-pop. Like, I love K-pop. I love how professional it is. I do disagree with some things that they do in the industry because I am really big on mental health and like body image and, you know, all that stuff. I think that's very important, and understanding that people are human beings. Even though we are artists, we are still humans. So aside from that, I think that the way that the artists like just pour into their craft, and like also we get to know them. Mm-hmm. We get to know them very well. I feel like they do a lot of engagement with their like their fans and their supporters. While I do want to maintain, because I always tell my friends I want to be like Frank Ocean when I get up there. Like I'm trying to really dip off for real. Like, you know, y'all get to know me, but I get overwhelmed easily, and I am an introverted extrovert. I really need that balance of like my life is my life, but I also like want to share my music with the world and like my voice with the world, because I feel like I have a really important story to tell. Mm-hmm. But just like one thing I really want to do is like let people get to know me, because I feel like I always felt misunderstood as a child. So as an adult, that's something that I really want to, first of all, now that I'm getting closer to myself, I don't care so much as people misunderstand me, but I would like people to at least like be able to be seen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Versus like if you just refuse to see me, you refuse to see me. But like if you see me and you feel like this is a safe space, like that's my goal. Because I really want my music to touch people. I like struggled with depression a lot in my adolescence and my childhood. And I was just going through a lot, and music was always my safe space. I've been singing since I was 2 and playing instruments since I could, which was 6th grade. Shout out to Erwin. Thank you for the opportunity, you know? But like Janae Aiko and like people like Lexa Gates and Sasha Keeble, like I feel like I just see so much of and Kaylani too, especially her earlier stuff. Like as a young Black queer woman, like in a Southern religiously strict household, like music was my segue, and like I want to just put that energy back, like because it literally saved me. So I want to continue giving that gift to other people, so y'all can get to know me within reason, you know what I mean? But like, you know, I definitely want people to know who Patrice Zhanae is, because I feel like once you know me, then my music makes hit so much harder, because it really is a story, and if you pay attention, you'll see the hints along the way. You know?
I can definitely relate to the concept of giving back and everything, because people be thinking you become an artist and music just to gain glory or fame or whatever. But really, like, you know, even with hip hop and everything, it really kind of helped, you know, just give me direction at a young age. You know, everybody was into like all like Lil Wayne stuff, and Lil Wayne's really, really dope and everything. But right around then, I was listening deeper and deeper to Tupac, and then Biggie's Notorious B.I.G., and then Bone Thugs and Harmony, and then N.W.A. and Easy, and it just kind of spread out from there throughout the 90s and 80s and the early 2000s and so on and so forth, to kind of help build my craft. And like that was just kind of like my way of escaping for me. So like when I'd be able to put a pen to paper and everything, express myself, things of that nature and everything, it just kind of it helped me kind of like relieve my depression and my anxiety and like all the issues I had to deal with in school and everything at home. And like, you know, it's just like, you know, just giving back, it just kind of just eats at you to like, you know, to create and try to push and try to produce something and everything. Even as like your most private moments, you're always thinking like, you know, how do I reach here? How do I get here? How do I get to this point where I can be able to touch other people's lives? But my music's the same way music is touching me in such a way. Because it's just like, you know, it's just a way, just like, you know, it's like a cycle. You just kind of have to, once you get drawn into it and sucked into it, you just kind of get stuck in that cycle, and you want to get more, you become more concerned of how can you better, like, you know, like grow hip hop and music and just kind of help it, like, you know, expand in your own way and so on.
For sure.
So I can definitely relate to that. You spoke to me earlier about like how like you were pretty much at Northwest High School and like experiences with that. You want to go into detail like your experiences there?
Yes. So I went from the 8th to the 12th grade. I would say I had my best and my worst times at Northwest. To give them their flowers, I genuinely would not be here if it weren't for some of that staff, because I was going through a lot with my family. It was just me and my grandma and everything. So it was a lot. And school was genuinely like the one place where like, I don't know, even if like everything outside of the music room was chaos, like that choir room, that band room was sacred no matter what. And I feel like that's something that everybody understood that went to that school. Like, you know, some people did not go there. Some people went there because they just like wanted to go to the school, but I feel like a lot of the kids that went there like loved their craft so much. Like the success stories from that school is beautiful, like Renee Rapp or even like Naila, who went to American Idol, like, and it's people that like I personally hold to a high degree that also went to that school. It's just a blessing to have walked through those halls with those same people and like learn from them, like, and also the space to be yourself. I would not be Patrice Zhanae if I did not go to Northwest, because I would have been like, I don't know, everybody was so cookie cutter around me. No offense to everybody, but there weren't a lot of people who were like different.
You get that a lot in Charlotte, because I feel it all just bounces off having a lack of identity as well. Like when you go to Atlanta, you know what Atlanta is. Like when you go to DC, you know what DC and the DMV stands for, and like the kind of people that go in here. Whereas like for Charlotte, we're still trying to pretty much get a grasp of what's what. And I feel like a lot of that comes down to just like a lot of people moving here and starting their life here. So it's like it kind of takes time to actually like set a foot to kind of gain a sense of like, okay, this is who we are. This is what we represent. But people don't even realize like Charlotte is bigger in terms of population compared to Atlanta and everything. And it's like, but we're always compared to Atlanta, and that it just kind of goes to show quantity over quality. They're more willing to like, pour into each other than we are. And we're still trying to kind of figure that infrastructure out, so taking steps like this is very important to pretty much, kind of help people kind of like grow into themselves as well. And I feel like a lot of folk kind of get ostracized, like the more authentic they are within themselves and within their power as well. And it's just like, it could be kind of difficult, at first, but I feel like it's necessary because the people who are so authentic in themselves and don't bend into like whatever society wants them to be are the ones that are more likely to find success in their life compared to people who just try to play it safe and just do what everybody else is doing and talk mess about the people that, they're supposed to talk mess about, even though that they know that person has done them no wrong or nothing like that. Like we face that a lot in Charlotte, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, time is the carrier of all karma. The bird will be eating up the ants and, all the insects and everything. But one day the bird is going to pass on, and then like the carcass will be left behind for those insects to feed on. That's time and karma are so intertwined with each other. It just comes hand in hand. That person that you say is not going to be this or won't be that or whatever, maybe they might succumb to the bullying and be like, you know what, I'm just not, I'm going to give up. And then that's it. And that's sad for them, very much sad. And, they got the people who would like, you know what, I'm going to prove them wrong. And then they just spend their whole lives trying to prove them wrong and prove themselves like, I am worthy of this. And they reach that upper echelon, and some just don't. And then some people might make little strides here and there, and that's just good enough. And they're satisfied with that, as long as you're satisfied with your path, that's all that matters and everything. But it's very important for this generation to really step up, to really just open that floodgate, to allow that, because you never know, like generations forward would definitely thank us for that, for actually opening that up.
And it's so interesting that you say that, because I genuinely feel like I'm in the middle ground. Yeah, I feel like I definitely, because it's, speaking of Northwest, I feel like although I loved that we had the space to pour into our craft, I hated being told what to do. And I feel like because the atmosphere could be so competitive at times, and there wasn't in my experience, there wasn't a lot of genuine connections. But I won't speak for everybody, but in my personal experience, it was really me and my homegirl Kylo against the world, for real.
It's high school. You only had like probably 3-4 friends.
Literally. And I clocked that T. But anyway, I love all my class. I don't want to, make it sound like I'm dissing. But like in music class specifically, I don't know, I always felt so alone. There was so much drama in there. So when I graduated high school, I was like, I am not singing in nobody's choir. My choir teacher was so talented. However, I have a very interesting voice. I am an alto tenor. People want me to sing high. And just because I might be able to hit that note does not mean that is my vocal range. However, I do know with time and like practice, I'll be able to expand my ranges more. But like, especially when I'm going through puberty, y'all, I went from a soprano to a tenor. I know what I'm talking about. Please. I was losing my voice every week. Literally every other week I was hoarse all throughout high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was bad. And then I also had a maternal figure at home. I love my grandmother, but she did not instill a lot of like, so she was not very supportive. Like she would fund every venture, you know what I mean? Like if I want to do pageants, if I want to be a Girl Scout, if I want to do this, she's like, okay, you know what? I want you to succeed. However, once I started succeeding, you know, it was a whole different thing. And she just also, that's why I'm so big on mental health, because I see the patterns. She also just has a lot of, you know what I mean? A trauma. So and she was not able to pour into me how like,
you would prefer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it is, you know. Even like with Ron, even in the background, like a lot of our parents kind of escaped a civil war. So a lot of them are very much traumatized and they have like PTSD. And a lot of us, I even had to sit down and realize, man, a lot of previous generation had so much PTSD. And me and my mom was just talking about it. Like literally, like she had this one guy back home in Liberia, which like she was like, you know, they thought they were going to be like in love, like married to each other and everything. And like he would always get her new clothes and stuff like that. And like Liberia, when you get new clothes, that was like a big thing and everything. And like that was her only source to get new clothes, because she wasn't even around her parents like that growing up and everything. Then the war broke out and everything. You know, you don't know how many people from that generation in Liberia, West Africa, which really like they left for the States, so they had to run away and everything. And they didn't know what happened to their friends, whether they were dead, and, you know, and you hear them like 30 years later, 10 years, and they was like, oh yeah, we're on Facebook. Oh my gosh, what happened to you? And it's like, you know, it's just beautiful. Like, and it's very terrible when you think about it, but it's also very beautiful that, okay, like, you know, like this person's alive, they're good, but there's so many others that just, you don't know what happened to them. And like that was it. So like that comes with a lot of trauma. So like when I look back on my life and just like how me and my mom used to go back and forth, and it's just like how she was just so quick to just like, you know, come at me and everything like that. And like, bro, that was just survival instinct, because she had to on top of that, like before, she had to grow up in an abusive home. Like a lot of my parents had to grow up with other people, you know, that weren't their parents. They had to look after them. So they had to basically, it was pretty close to slavery, but not like slavery in a sense. So like I look back and I had to have more grace, you know, when I give for my parents and everything, because like, you know, they did the best they can, knowing all that they knew and everything. And now I could be that generation to kind of right that wrong and like set that transition, you know, to like something more positive for my family moving forward and everything. And it just all comes down to making certain choices and making the choice that I'm going to be that person. You know, I'm going to be the change in my family dynamic. I'm going to be the change within, you know, the music community here in Charlotte. You know, and it's going to take a lot of people that want to make that change to make a whole movement.
No, for sure.
So yeah, it's just something to consider, you know.
And I'm going to have 2 points. So I'm going to hit on the family one first and then segue to the second one. I definitely agree with you. Like, my grandmother was born in 1943 in Charlotte, North Carolina. She literally had the Klan driving downtown, like, Charlotte when she was walking with her mom, and they were throwing, like, firecrackers onto the street, and it popped her in her knee, and she's, like, 19. Like, she moved to D.C. at 8. Well, I think she moved to D.C. at 18, but she was coming back and forth. But she was basically a mammy her whole life, for real. Like, her family always made her take care of people from being a little girl. When she graduates high school, everybody else is getting sent off to college, and they're like, you go take care of your brother's baby. On top of that, she's now working for the Navy Department, and she has a very racist supervisor who's doing everything that she can for over 20 years to get her fired. And then finally, like you said about karma, Shorty got fired. And mind you, she's a single mom who went through domestic violence in D.C.
Oh, wow.
By herself.
Dang.
Who had a child out of wedlock from a Southern, religiously strict Black family.
Oh, yeah.
So Rosina went through a lot. So I try to find grace with her, and same with my father. You know, he was raised by a single Black mother in the 70s and the 80s, and he went to Catholic school in the DMV, and then he went to the Army in the 90s, and then came out with a alcohol problem,
which a lot of people do when they go to fight in war. They come back with addiction problem because they try to stray away from like what they've seen in war and everything like that. You know, that's why it's like war is just, it ain't for us really. You know, because like literally a lot of our people was brought in this country to build this country and like had their whole human rights taken away and everything. So like to know like even back then when they were fighting for like the like, you know, World War I and World War II, and they got no money or anything out of that, whereas like their white, you know, counterparts actually did. You know, we went through a lot as a people the past century, and we're still kind of going through it right now. Maybe not as badly as back then, but it's like it's still like it's still pretty bad to a degree.
On top of like the 5 generations worth of trauma being stored in our DNA, which is like a thing that like people get triggered by things and they're like, why is this bothering me? Well, your great-great-grandfather went through this and it's in you.
Trauma can pass through in DNA, y'all. A lot of people don't realize that.
It's a real thing. And I know like that's something I'm learning now and breaking now, which being a generational curse breaker, which I know is my path because my family, graciousness, we don't talk to each other. Yeah. Like it's just a lot of trauma there. Yeah. And while we have family members who are very successful and living like good lives, like at their core, like it's just not healthy there. And so here's me, guys, let's talk about it. And my family's like, talk about what? There's nothing to talk about. Let's take this picture. I'm like, I'm not taking a picture with you when you just hugged my abuser. Like, no, let's talk about that.
Man.
Like, please.
And it happens so often, especially in the Black community, of like, protecting abusers and everything of that nature. It's just like, we don't have to go as deep as you want to about it.
Look, I talk about everything. I'm such a, like, I feel like in my family, especially, we were not like literally I got in trouble for speaking about like trauma as a child to a pastor,
which a lot of people still do.
Exactly. So my biggest thing with seeing these patterns, I knew I did not want to be that way. Yeah. Like I knew I didn't want to repeat it, like, because that doesn't make me happy. That made me feel terrible my entire life. So from a very young age, even though there were years where I definitely was in my hermit and I was definitely being myself, and I'm coming out of that now and like I say to my friends all the time, like, little Patrice, like, y'all don't even understand. Like, y'all think I'm doing a lot now. Little Patrice was really emotion. Like, I was getting booked, being a Girl Scout, being in after school classes while singing and being in bands, dancing, everything. Like, I love that stuff. But then, unfortunately, when I moved here, at the school I went to, a lot of the kids, like we were talking about earlier, they were going through a lot at home. And so that was kind of like shoved down in me because I'm going through a lot at home, and I come to school and they're picking on me for being who I am unless they can get something out of it, which I also had to learn how to manage now, especially like being a singer and dealing with like janky promoters and
a lot of that in Charlotte.
It's
always talking about that's a common theme with artists.
And it's so crazy because they be talking about each other. Like I'd be like, yeah, this promoter did me that way, and they be like, dang, that's crazy. We not like that over here, and then be worse.
Dang.
Like, please leave me alone. That's why I'm like, second point.
And it ain't bad to want to step out of the city and everything and expand somewhere else. I got a couple of cities I'm focused on, like DC especially, because I want to go to Howard University. So like networking at university would probably help me up to that degree.
Sure.
And the alumni there is so extensive that they might open the door, especially out there. And also Detroit's really good because their music scene is pretty put together. Like I know I told people about Crowd Freak, which I tell them a lot about to really follow Crowd Freak, because like they're an organization out in Detroit where it's like if you can upload your music through them and through their platform and everything, not only will they actually put it on all platforms, but they're going to put your music on playlists to get more views on the music. And also they're also going to fly you out of wherever you're from to Detroit to perform at their music festivals. They have multiple years, like Backwoods and Bonfires. They got Scary Hours for Halloween and all types of stuff. And it'd be like real crowds of people, but it's not too overwhelming. It's just like good enough for like if you're just starting up and everything. Like how like I know Gucci Ronnie about Charlotte Spark. It's like Charlotte, but like a lot bigger. Types like they've been doing it since like I think 2017. So it's like they've been growing after a while. So it's like definitely you want to learn infrastructure and everything. Those are some places you want to go to. But also I want to expand to Houston and Miami as well, and maybe eventually LA as well. Because these are hub spots, of hip hop and everything, and what's in the mainstream today. So you want to tap in with cities like that, and then definitely put Charlotte on the map through that.
Oh, for sure. I think for sure my next goal, I've been talking about it crazy, is LA for sure. I feel like with my vibe, like as a person, I would do really well out there. And then also, it's just been calling me.
Yeah, it's just been calling. If it's calling you, definitely reach out, but be mindful though, because like a lot of people go to LA and they get strung up and everything, and it happens a lot.
I know for sure. But Patrice is such a homebody, and when I don't play by my intuition, like if I don't feel like it's right, I will not go. I do not care. Like my friends and we were talking about like, what are we gonna do? Like if. Like, I think my friend asked me, what if you, like, like Target comes to you and they want to do a brand deal, like what you gonna do? Or Starbucks, I'm gonna be like, I'm not doing that. I do not care how much money you give me. I don't care how good of an opportunity it is.
I still don't go to Target.
I don't go to Target.
I avoid Target at all costs.
I haven't gone to Target in years. I haven't paid or drank unless it was a sip out of my friend's drink. Okay, so don't clock me.
Like, DEI type stuff. It's just,
I can't.
My brother needed to go there. Well, not my brother needed, but we needed to get something from there because, he was in the hospital. He needed to drink a whole lot of liquid IV, and they had it there, and that was the only exception.
Now, if it was like that, I would,
Yeah, but I went to Walmart, even though Walmart's not good either. But just to get more water and coconut water, it's all more or less the same. But it is what it is.
I think for me, before even the DEI, I am queer. Mm-hmm. You cannot sit here and tell me that you don't like gay people and think I'm finna give you my money. I'm sorry, no.
So you don't even eat at Chick-fil-A neither?
No, I don't eat at Chick-fil-A, and it be hurting me. It do, because it's so good. The mac and cheese is good. The sauce is good. Ooh. But I don't eat there, no. No, I am a queer black woman at the end of the day, and I am I'm a humanitarian, period, first before, let me phrase that. I'm a child of God first, and then I'm a humanitarian second. You know what I mean? I don't play about, human rights. I really don't. I don't care who it is. I don't care what they're offering me. If you, I have been boycotting like crazy. Now, I have been slipping with McDonald's. You can't clock me about that. But however, I'm not playing about this Israel situation. And if it is debatable for you, then I will educate as much as the Lord is telling me to talk to you. But once that conversation is, I know that you're not the person for me. When it comes to certain political, which is not even political at this point, it's human rights.
Yeah, human rights above everything. You can't just treat anybody and just genocide whoever you feel like because they're the minority.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a history buff, and I've been studying the Bible since I was in elementary school. I literally was in the after school Bible club all throughout elementary
and Revelations is popping a whole lot
and
now.
Please, how...
It's becoming so
in our faces.
Really, and it's just you see it all the time, bro, and it's just I'm more centrist, really, and I just kind of I kind of point to the left a little bit, but only because the left actually cares about people, whereas on the conservative side they care, but they only care in their own interest. Literally, this guy's on the Epstein list and now you want to protect him. Some people are turning on him, but it's just at the same token, it's just why you fought so hard for this person and now it's he's literally deporting your cousins or your because you really thought that supporting him was gonna make a difference and everything. He didn't say just the criminals, he said everybody. Literally, and it's now you want to cry about it. That's why you can't just feel forget whoever. You gotta be able to just look at everybody else as equals and and actually emphasize with them.
No one is free until we are all free. That is real. People don't understand that because American society and capitalist society, don't get me wrong, I love money. Nobody likes being poor, but we have to be real about the situation. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to see what's actually going on, because it is actually really disheartening to see how much nothing is in our favor. That's why you have to take control of your life and make your life with, because no one is going to save you, because everybody here is so, not everybody, but especially with capitalism, it is money oriented, which makes us self-oriented, and the more self-oriented we are, the less community based we are, and that is the goal. They don't want us to have community.
And the system of capitalism mixed with democracy only gives people the illusion that it's actually democratic, because you can't have 1% of the wealth going to one place, and most of the wealth going to 1% of the population and everything, to expect everybody to have the same experience,
Sure.
And that's why even communism is so glorified. And I'm not saying I support communism, but it's in contrast, because if you get the negative from communism, you would think capitalism is just heaven. Then when you think from capitalism, you think, communism is the solution. Yeah. Really, if you just take pieces of all the positives of not even just both, but just other cultures as well, and implement it to a system that actually works for everybody, then we can actually move forward as a society. And that's why it's just you think about countries like Burkina Faso and everything, and they didn't have to elect their leader. And Ibrahim Traoré, he literally had to transition and become the leader and everything, because the leader of that country was one of those other presidents in Africa that just just keep the wealth from the people and then give it to the colonizers and everything. Where Burkina Faso, later they kicked out all the French people. They linked up with Niger and Mali so they could be able to use their resources to help build up their country. Just for the past 2 years of doing that.
I love that.
It's $18 billion in Burkina Faso they use to just build up their country. Wow. They're developing at such a quick rate. And it's just like Africa has everything there. Yeah, we let they let the West, take, influence on their country. And now they want to pose Ibrahim Traoré as like a terrorist. Yes. And now you care about Burkina Faso people. We didn't even know where Burkina Faso was. Literally. And y'all was exploiting them the whole time. And it's just like, where we see that all the time,
When I first went to college, I went to Mars Hill University, and I was a history major. And I was taking I don't even remember the name of the class because I'm currently not enrolled in classes. Don't clock me. She's a struggling artist full time. But I am enrolled at CP. I owe them a little money. They're going to get it soon.
Pray for you, though. CP sucks. I go to Rowan Cabarrus, bro. I could focus better. Just too much going on.
I'm thinking that that's going to be the moves because I agree with you with the focus part. I
feel like Rowan Cabarrus would be more your vibe because it's just like, because even though it's just like, you could hang out with people if you wanted to, but it's not forced. It's not like all in your face where it's like you're just around fake people all the time. And like, where it's like at Rowan Cabarrus, you can go do your work and then just leave and come home.
And that's me. I'm like the type to sit in the back of the class type, like
it's got to be a little bit of a drive though, because you had to go like the Concord area basically.
I go to Salisbury all the time. It's not that big of a deal.
All right, so it might be vibe. Because I know, like, once I left CP, went to Rowan Cabarrus, nothing but A's and B's.
See, that might be what I need to do. Because also, like, I think because CP is so big, and it's such a, at least in my experience, it's been such a hassle to even talk to, like, anyone. Because there's so many of us there. I don't know. Maybe I need something smaller. That's why I like Mars Hill. But I was bringing that up because we were reading the book in one of the classes I was in about, like, how Western help is like glorified, but it's really hurting like just Africa in general, or like anywhere that they're helping, it's not helping, and just kind of explaining what like Western and like the savior complex has actually, like that influence has done to these communities where they go in and like come and they build these places and like take these pictures and they just leave.
Oh yeah.
Until they want something else.
Yeah, no, I feel you for real though. And it's just like, on top of that, even bouncing back to Burkina Faso, they build their own electric cars right there. Yeah, they call it the Sahel. They named it after the organization that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are a part of. They call it Sahel, Sahel. And yeah, they developed their own electric cars. It looks way better than the Teslas. Teslas look like crap compared to, because like especially them cyber trucks and everything, like it's just like it looks so beautiful, bro. Like, and you would think like, man, this is just for the past 2 years they created their own electric cars. So it's like by then, like in 10 years, I'm sure they'll pretty much be like in a whole nother league, and like that's why they want to take them out, just how they did Gaddafi and everything. Because really, Muammar Gaddafi wanted to unify the whole Africa under one currency. The way how Europe got euros and everything, and America has dollars, and everybody used the United States dollar and everything. He wanted to unite all of Africa under like one currency. He was probably gonna call it the Afros, which is kind of funny, but it's like but it works. Yeah, it was gonna be like literal gold, because if you use gold, it'd be a lot easier not to lose or destroy the money if it's actual gold coins. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like money and dollars, you can set it on fire and that's it, or get in the swamp, that's it. It's like, for gold coins and everything, you just wash it off and just use it again.
That is true.
So you don't lose as much money doing stuff like that and everything. But, I know we're getting close to that, so we got to switch back and focus back on you and everything.
I'm sorry, I'm such a yapper.
No, you're not a yapper. It's just like really, I prefer that because I haven't tried to force conversations and everything. But back on songs like Misconnections and songs like Take It Slow and I Know. We can start with the song I Know the Devil with Mental and everything. What was your headset going on making songs like that?
So those two songs were passion project songs. And I Know the Devil, that was I can't remember his artist name, but I know his name is Roscoe. He literally just came in one Friday and never came back.
Oh, wow.
And he got in the booth and he started singing, and I was like, I love your voice. And he was like, I love your voice. You're going to sing with me. And I was just like, okay. And he was like, sing these words and help me on my delivery a lot, because I be shy. And I feel like I keep hearing I need to do more sensual stuff with my voice. It's really awkward for me. I'm real awkward. I don't do all the extra stuff. I'm getting into that now because I'm like, girl, you're grown. If you don't be a little sexy, it's fine. It's fine.
It's all right.
It's okay. But
Little Sexy won't kill nobody.
well, it won't hurt nobody. God gave you this voice for a reason, girl. You better talk. So yeah, no, he really, him and the girl that was there, and I can't even remember her name, but she had a beautiful voice on her. They just helped me with my delivery. So that was more so process of that song. I didn't really have too much of creative control on that. I was really just here for the vibes, and they were like singing. I was like, okay, it was super fun. The song with MENTXL. What song is that? We did.
I Know the Devil.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, he came in there and he wrote his verse. He did all that. He's a beast. We already know how MENTXL come.
Yeah. MENTXL's coming strong.
Yes. Take It Slow. Now that song was another person who just came and left. Judah. Shout out to him. He's a dope producer. He be somewhere, you know. You see him when you see him, but he's super talented. He came in, dropped a bunch of beats. I heard that beat. I said, you need to send me that beat, because even if we don't use it here, I'm using that. And I went home and I wrote it, and I was just like, it's such a sexy beat. I don't know. It just gives me 90s. So I wrote the verse and I like sent it to the Discord, and I was like, one of y'all somebody rap on this. And Dub Verses came, and we pulled up to the studio on like a Monday or a Sunday or something and recorded it. And yeah, he wrote his verse in the parking lot, came back and laid it. And I think if anything, I would want to re-record it, because I want it to be a little more dramatic. You know what I mean? Because I love layers and intensity. You know, you
could always re-release it and everything.
I will definitely. I have to. That's a beautiful song. And the verses went crazy. He's super talented.
Wonderful. And what do we have to look up for any future projects for Miss Patrice?
Yeah, so Miss Connections just got dropped. I love that song. It was it was a freestyle with the lyrics. It was not a one take, because I'm really particular about my layers. But we love that song. It's out now, and that is the first group of singles, along with Take Me Home and Yours and Chocolate. Those will also be on my EP that I'm dropping soon, called Moonstruck. It's a lot of love songs about heartbreak and kind of just my healing journey with like the past couple years of my life. You know, it'd be a little hectic over here in the love life, so I put it in the music. And then I'm also working on my debut album, Sincerely Yours, which is 26, 27 song. But it's a story, and it goes along with my book too. If you read it, the love story is like literally the same, because it's literally my life. And later on, if you tap in with me and stay tuned in with me, you'll get to know more about my spiritual side, because it's a whole thing. We'll talk about my twin flame journey. Tap in with my YouTube channel, because it's a thing. You know?
Oh, dope. Okay, I'll subscribe. I'll subscribe if you subscribe.
I do. So I am trying to do podcasts too, but this music stuff is so much. I don't have time.
It's all right.
But I have interviewed a couple people. I interviewed Ron and, Tyree and Spaz. I never mentioned him. We love Spaz.
Yeah, we love Spaz too. I had him on the podcast as well. Yeah, we all know each other.
I have a song with him coming out. I produced it. I do produce as well. It's called Consequences, and it's like a R&B hip hop vibe, and like with some Latin vibes in there.
Okay, a whole lot in it. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I want everything. No dramatics. They gonna know me everywhere. Just that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I can dig it. Nice.
Yeah, I also, like I told you, I want to be Frank Ocean. So, within reason. But I want my music to go on forever. Like I'm going to be a legend. Like there's no want. I will be a legend. I am learning and growing every day. I'm pouring into my craft every day, and all this comes from the soul. And I don't know, everything's 100% authentic over here, and everything is for. As much as I say I want everything, I don't mean like I want to be Beyonce and be a superstar. I want it to be like, I don't know.
Everything that's fulfilling to you.
Yes, you feel me? Like I have a life purpose, a soul purpose that I'm here to do. I know my voice is meant to touch millions upon millions upon millions of people for whatever reason. I think it's healing. I think that I've been put here to vibrate in the energy and the frequency of love. And that's why I focus on the things that I do. Even if I try to live a different way, it does not work. So that's why I'm here. I gotta go touch grass and stuff to keep saying, because that is me. You know what I mean? So that's the image that I'm giving to the world, and I want to share just this energy with everybody. And I just want, I want everything.
Understood.
I want to be everywhere.
Understood. And before we go off, is Francesca Oceana, what would you like to let your... I just had to put it in there. I just thought of it as you could
Isn't that BoJack?
What? Well, BoJack? No, I don't know about no BoJack.
Oh, child, I'm thinking.
Francesca Oceana.
What's that?
Frank Ocean.
Oh,
Female.
you're funny,
Yeah,
child. I'm thinking
feminine.
about the pop star from BoJack Horseman.
Dang, hold on. Oh, yeah. The dolphin girl. Or I didn't even think that was her name. Oh, God.
I think Oceana's in there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aquafina.
Aquafina. Wait, is that a person?
Yeah, that is a first name, but also, so it's like, I guess she needs to get some checks off that. Anyway, what are some final words you want to let the people know before you bounce?
Please stay educated. There's a lot going on.
And you can look in the camera for it too.
Hi. This is very important. Please stay educated, for real, for real. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot going on in our country. I want to always send prayers to the West Coast right now. I don't know. There's a lot going on. I want to send prayers to everybody. Like, please look out for one another, for real. There's, I don't care if they don't look like you, if they don't come from the same background as you. I don't care if you don't agree with how they live their life, bro, because it's them today and it could be you tomorrow, and we don't want it to be anybody ever. So please be kind. That is the message always, and love each other. And just educate yourselves, please, because they're feeding on us not knowing anything. So please stay educated, because there's a lot going on. And yeah, please, guys.
That's right. Read a book, bitch.
No, for real. Read my book that I'm writing. That will be coming out next year. I tell us all this time. And stream my music.
Read her book, bitch.
Period.
As well as Free Palestine,
Yes.
Black Lives Matter,
Free Congo.
and DEI is messed up. I mean, not messed up, made up, but everything's kind of made up, ain't it? Yeah, and Free Congo as well.
In the Sudan. And everywhere. And especially Hawaii. They shouldn't be a part of this country. I don't care what anybody says. It should be their own country.
Shout out to Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali for holding it down as well. That's it for the Mental Threads podcast. We sewing in and we are sewing out.
Yeah.
Back
Thank
for the
you.
return with a vengeance.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I feel like we got off topic so much.
No, not really.
Something about the way you love me makes me wanna hold the sun, orbiting around love once again. No. Something about the way you kiss me makes me not regret this feeling. I do every life over again to find you. Thought I was repeating cycles with no meaning. Now I see the truth. Cause with every downfall, I learned how to stand tall. They led me to you. And I can feel the distance, choking from the tension. Tell me where you are. Blinded from the starlight, guide you with my moonlight, headed to you. Something